Canada, New Hampshire, Mr. Rosenberg.
Madam President, I just rise to make a very brief point, and that is, as a member of this legislature for 25 years, I voted for every bill and every provision that supported transparency and credibility, etc. I think the heart of this conversation is embedded in the last paragraph of what the gentleman's comments are. He talked about the perception, and then he talked about the integrity. The reality is, our responsibility is to vote for what is real and what is actually happening and what we actually want to have happen. We should not be making decisions based on faulty perception, because the gentleman himself said that the perception is the problem, not the integrity of legislators. And I know very honest, hard-working legislators who have left this legislature after 5 and 10 and 20 years of hard, distinguished, honest work, and they were unemployed for 2 and 3 and 4 years because of the perception that as a legislator they were not worthy to head an organization in the private sector, or in the not-for-profit sector, or to serve as the president of college or university. We had a member of this body who twice became a finalist for a college presidency. He was an EDD. He had a doctorate. He was chair of the education committee. He was a person who could have led one of those 2 colleges with distinction. He was turned down because he was a former legislator, and the perception about what it meant to be a legislator. So I respectfully suggest, while I assume that we will embrace this amendment today because of the sensitivity and the nature of the issue that we're dealing with today, I really urge all members here and all of the public who is observing to remember that you love your legislator and you think they're honest and hardworking and effective, and you think all of the other ones are the problem. The truth is, we all are hardworking, effective people with integrity. And when we rise on this floor, or when we take actions that are driven by the perception rather than the reality of our integrity, we contribute to the cynicism. We don't solve it. We don't address it. We don't reduce it. We add to the perception. Because if we ourselves have to stand up and say the only way to protect the integrity is to prevent people from having a job, another job in the government, or another job outside, then it suggests that we are fundamentally lacking in integrity. This is one of the more significant challenges that we have as current elected officials, is to change the perception without throwing our colleagues and ourselves and government and democracy under the bus. And that's what this conversation contributes to. The intent of the gentleman is noble and honest. The basis upon which he presents this is that the perception is that in order to protect the public trust and in order to ensure integrity, that we have to diminish the people in this body and across the hall. I respectfully suggest that the words we use and what we say is as important as the provision we're voting upon. And while I know there's a majority, a strong majority for this, because we want to ensure integrity, and we realize that expanding gaming in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts leaves a lot of people worried. We are going to have the strongest regulatory structure that you can find to ensure the integrity of the enterprise. And we're going to hold the feet to the fire of all of those 4 licensees who receive licenses under this bill if we issue all 4 licenses, and every employee and every vendor of those organizations. So, again, let me just end by saying I appreciate and I accept the basic idea that he is putting forward at this moment with regard to this question, but I strongly urge that when we rise on this floor, that we contribute to changing the perception, not adding to it.